Mark, you like myself has a security firm.
Yes.
And representing small business.
Yeah.
Can you talk to us about, a lot of law enforcement people get into the security business and don't realize the pitfalls?
Sure, absolutely. I mean, there are many challenges in security business, but small business in general. I think I had hoped over the past several years there'd be some relief for small businesses. It's one of the platforms of the campaign, actually, is how to provide some level of relief and assistance to small businesses. We get swamped, and especially if you're a small business that decides to do business with the city as a subcontractor.
Very important, subcontractor.
Oh, Lord.
When you was in law enforcement, you was a subcontractor. You was not a contractor.
Right.
That's a conflict of interest.
It's just, there are small businesses who are really going under while they have outstanding debt from the city, basically. For the city money that's owed to them, and that really is impacting several small businesses. So there has to be some relief, some streamlining of the system, and some understanding that a small business is just that small. And oftentimes, it's nice to hear, well, you owe me X amount of dollars, but it's even better when you have it, in your account so you can pay your workers, etc. But that's one of the challenges that we have to do. We have to examine moving forward how to make this city more user-friendly for small businesses.
Okay, so you're going to champion that cause, because I'm going to be a little more frank. Doing security, I'm going to be a little more frank, because although I still keep my license up to date, we talked, our actual conversation off mic was a lot better than what it was before. We was waiting for the construction people to stop banging so we could do what we have to do. So if you hear some banging, they're building up the upstairs. But now, I'm going to be frank about it. I voted for Mayor Bloomberg twice. The first time after 9/11, I felt we needed a businessman after 9/11, not a politician.
Right.
So I voted for the mayor, and he wasn't the mayor at that time. And I voted, and I sent him a letter. I'm voting for you on the independent line. And I said, I'm voting for you as a businessman so you can help us out as business people. Because I'm tired of waiting months for getting your contract. You be in a hole for thousands.
Sure, absolutely.
You could go in a hole for six figures.
Sure.
Waiting for the city and various agencies. If you're a subcontractor, you're not working for the city, but the city is holding up his money, which is holding up yours. And I voted for the mayor because I thought he would understand that. So I voted for him the first time. Now the mayor.
Right.
I voted for you the second time. And now you're still doing security because I stopped. I'm going to keep my license. If I don't get the big contract, if it's not a multi-million-dollar contract, it's not worth doing. Because tell them, brother, about all the laws we got.
There are so, and security is one of those areas where there are so many regulations and insurance requirements and this requirement, workers' comp and unemployment.
Killing us.
You really get hit in the pocket really hard. So people look, and if you're unfortunate enough to have an outstanding, the city owes you money and you're waiting for it. While all these other, payrolls coming in, thousands by thousands.
Thousands, and they get paid every week.
That's right. Yeah. That's right.
Your city worker, your security worker get paid every week.
Every week.
And you're coming out robbing Peter to pay Paul to pay this here.
And imagine, and we talking about security businesses, but imagine the thousands of thousands of small businesses throughout the city who experiences that type of dynamic, especially doing business with the city or trying to subcontract with the city and really existing on that money and barely making it, not surviving it or going under. I'm sure
communication, brother. Nextel was costing. You got workers out there, and it's costing. But we also spoke about, which is very important, is we got to get our community, especially in the security field. It's hard to get young people wear your uniform correctly. Come to work on time.
Brother, you talking now? Listen, that's a whole nother show. But there are many challenges, but it really ties into something we talked about earlier as well, and that is our accountability, the community's accountability to itself. Because we have a tendency, and I've been as guilty as the next person, to point outward too often and not point inward.
Exactly.
Because there are elements outside of our community that without a doubt are looking to oppress and destroy us, if you will. But then we also have to examine those elements inside of our community, our families, our friends, our loved ones, the people next door. And we have to begin to challenge ourselves and challenge our community to do better, to think better. Just like you mentioned about wearing a uniform. If you have a uniform job, where's the elder that steps out there and says, boy, don't put that on. You're wearing that the wrong way. Or where's the elder that steps out there and says, y'all don't hang on this corner because there's nothing good coming on this corner. Or I don't want to see you wearing that. Or take that do-rag off your head. I do it around my way.
Of course. course.
True.
But we're missing that, and I think a lot of that has led to some of the behavior and some of the downing of our communities, etc.
Yeah.
So we have to be responsible.
Back in
And
that?
that goes back to it takes a village to raise a child.
Yes.
But the sad thing is too that you have these adults who are now so fearful of these young people and what
Yes.
they're capable of because they're not thinking. They don't think. They just react. So therefore, and especially in our district, when you have 62% who are seniors, they be saying, did you know what that boy did? Because there's one area where they stand out there with their red scarves on and things of that nature. You have an 81-year-old woman that lives in this house, and you know that. But you stand and the house is connected.
With no respect at all.
No respect. You're standing out there and you're smoking a joint and everything else, right away, and you're blowing it over in the face. But when you call the police, they'll come and say, okay, we're going to send someone. If you don't get 10, 15 people to call, you got to go and call everyone and say, could you call the police now? Could you call the police? Before they even come out and respond.
And that's what's missing.
And that's what's missing.
That group
And-
on the block that
right.
will roll down to that
That
house
will
and have a
roll down.
conversation with
And
these
not
young
only
men.
that, where is the
self-checking.
police that look like us, police in our community?
Yes.
Because you used to know Joe the officer and so because he's gonna come tell your parents.
Oh, yes,
So
it's
it's
a whole
gonna get
different
back. It's
area
a
now.
whole different area. They don't look like us, but they just come in and they just do whatever they want. They feel that they can do to us.
Okay, I'm sorry, but we're running close on time, and this is what I have to tell. Our off conversation while we were waiting for the construction was a lot deeper than this. I mean, and it's sad because we got to do this again. I really wanted to touch on women's issues. It's very important to me that we need to come. I want y'all to come back here for this here, but I want you to close out. I'm gonna give you a minute, 30 seconds, whatever it takes, and mark a minute. I want y'all to just tell us why you.
Okay. Again, while I'm running, it's because I'm giving a voice to the voiceless. So I'm standing up for something that's happening in our community, and no one is turning their right head to turn around and look and see exactly what's going on. So I have an insight to the needs, concerns, and the problems in the community, and I'm willing to stand for it. I didn't just start. I've been started. As a matter of fact, I feel that there's an obligation for us to give back to the community. So that's why I'm running for the city council seat for the 27th district.
Leroy gotta go.
He has to go. Doing business as usual is no longer acceptable.
Okay, Mom.
And my name is Marquez Claxton. Once again, I'm running for the 31st Councilmatic District. My slogan is returning power to the people, and that's really the focus of what I want to do throughout this campaign and what I will ultimately do as the council person for the 31st District. I think it's important for us to have a effective elected representation that makes sense, that is connected to the people, and has a real commitment to improving the condition throughout the entire district and even the entire city. And you can't be afraid and talk about change. You can't just say change because you heard President Obama talk about change. Change has to be something you're committed to, and I think my legacy, my history of activism and advocacy and strength and speaking truth to power speaks for itself. And if you need more information, you can always go to marquezclaxton.com. That's MarquezClaxton.com. That's the website for more information.
Thank you. Before I close this out, what I like to say is this has been very enjoyable, one of my best segments. I really like it. It's just so much that we have to talk about. It's hard to do it in an hour. I mean, our community and our different various districts that we're covering. It's very difficult to do this in an hour. I don't have a problem with anybody coming back and calling and say there's some issues that I need to get out that I want my community to know about. So if you feel that you need to come back and express some things, and I'm really not finished saying we need to talk about a lot of other things to tell you the truth. But you're free to come back and send more candidates. Tell everybody they're welcome. This is for us. And this is like the FUBU mentality. For us, by us. We got to spotlight what we're doing and try to control our own media to tell our own stories. And I'm very grateful that y'all came on the show, and it's a very positive show.
Well,
So with that, we're closing out, and I thank everybody for watching, and come back and see who will be on next week for On the Spot. I thank you very much. Enjoy your holiday. Go out there to the cookout now. Take it easy.
This is the cookout, brother.
Thank you.